So, folks, as we've saw Donald Trump and his administration, or his regime, we should say, crack down on immigration, they always try to paint it as though it's the violent gang members they're going after, it's the criminals they're going after, it's the people that's going to come and hurt you and your family that they're going after. And then they turn around and they go to Home Depots and they go raid farms and they go take away some dude's lawn mowing crew. And then all of a sudden people look around and goes, holy shit, they're coming for the good people. They're coming from the people. They're coming for the people that's doing all the jobs that I myself don't want to do. And so we talk a whole lot about that. And we sit here on the channel and we talk about, hey, you know, he's not going after the violent gang members. He's not going after the criminals. He's going after the people that's the backbone of our economy. But the one thing that we really don't stop and think more about is the children in this situation and how their lives are being absolutely terrorized at the moment by all of this. And so I want to read you this article from the Associated Press, and I want to thank everybody for supporting what it is that I do here on the channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help us get to 1 million if you like this kind of content. But this article brings across something that I think we need to talk more about, and that is the children in this scenario. So teacher unions sue Trump's administration, sue over Trump administration crackdown, saying students are staying home. Labor unions representing millions of educators and school employees are suing Donald Trump's administration over its immigration crackdown, saying that arrests near school campuses are terrorizing children and their leaders, leading some students to drop out. At the start of Trump's second term, his Republican administration said it would allow immigration arrests at schools, long considered off limits. That violated the law, argues the lawsuit from two of the largest teacher unions, the National Education Association and the American Federation of Teachers, which represent more than 4 million school employees nationwide. Also joining the lawsuit are educators from Oregon preschool where masked agents broke a car window and dragged a student's father from his car shortly after the child had been dropped off. The arrival of the police prompted the school to go into a lockdown with teachers playing music so students couldn't hear the commotion outside. I'm going to pause just for a minute before we keep reading on that note and say to all the people that said, oh, he's just going to go after the violent gang members, oh, he's just going to go after the criminals. We all knew better because we were paying more attention to him than you were. And we knew this was going to be bad, and we knew people were going to suffer, innocent people were going to suffer, and the most innocent people of all are the children in this scenario. And it's just truly sad that this is where we are, but this is what happens when you elect a man hell-bent on revenge. He told you he was a snake. That's all I can say about that. But teacher Lauren Fong, who teaches the child whose father was arrested that day, said she was troubled by the decision to confront the father in the school parking lot, which is private property. Why a school? Why not someplace else? Any place else, she said in an interview. It was in the parking lot where it could be witnessed by so many young children. The educators are joining a lawsuit filed in April by Oregon Farm Worker Union and a group of churches challenging the Trump administration's decision to open houses of worship to immigration enforcement as well. The amended lawsuit was filed Tuesday in federal court in Eugene, Oregon. Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said immigration officers use discretion when making arrests at schools or churches. She said officers would need secondary supervisor approval before any action can be taken in locations such as a church or a school. We expect these to be extremely rare. A policy reversal opened the door for arrest at schools. For nearly 3 decades, immigration agents were instructed to steer clear of sensitive locations like schools, hospitals, and places of worship, except under extraordinary circumstances. Homeland Security, according to a 2021 memo, could accomplish its enforcement mission without denying or limiting individuals access to needed medical care, children access to their schools, the displaced access to food and shelter, the people of faith access to their place of worship. A day after Trump took office, the department rescinded the memo and instead urged agents to use common sense, in quotation marks, when operating near schools and churches. In a statement, the officials outlined their reasoning behind the move. Criminals will no longer be able to hide in American schools and churches to avoid arrest. Folks, that's how they're spinning this one. They're spinning this one that they can't hide behind that. But these people that they're arresting, they're not criminals, number one. And number two, again, what the hell happened to due process? Why is due process suddenly such a bad term? And this is happening in front of children, and it's absolutely disgusting. But the lawsuit describes several instances of masked agents from ICE making arrests in and around schools and church grounds. In Los Angeles, masked Border Patrol officers descended on a car parked next to a high school and ordered a 15-year-old boy with disabilities out at gunpoint while searching for a man with gang ties. They handcuffed him and only released him when they discovered they had the wrong person. So school attendance has dropped in some districts. In the months following Trump's inauguration, some school districts reported lower attendance as immigrant families kept their children home or in some cases left the country. In California's Central Valley, immigration raids in January and February coincided with the 22% spike in student absences compared with the previous 2 school years. The lawsuit includes testimonials from unnamed teachers who report seeing an increased anxiety and decreased participation and attendance from students who either immigrants or children of immigrants. High school teachers in Pennsylvania and Virginia said some students stopped showing up in the spring, fearful they would be arrested on campus. A speech pathologist at a California elementary school said immigrant parents were reluctant to sign up their children for special education services because it would mean giving more information to the school. And a Texas high school teacher for student learning English said enrollment in her classes has dropped greatly. So, folks, again, this always gets painted like they're coming after criminals and violent gang members, and they're trying to say these criminals and violent gang members are hiding behind churches and schools, but they're simply terrorizing the children. There's no other way to slice it. And it's easy to come on there and just say, well, these people are violent, these people are gang members, because that will always sell with their base, but they never seem to have any evidence or show any evidence, and they don't believe in due process. And so it's time that we really stop and think about everything that's going on in the world today. But what we really need to think about more than anything is the children. They always say the right says they're the party of the children. They say they're about protecting the children, yet they sit back while children die in school and do nothing. They do nothing about the gun violence. They do nothing about what we face in this country, and they're heartless when it comes to this. But this is not just affecting children of immigrants. This is affecting everyone's children that is witnessing this kind of thing and seeing this kind of thing and living under this kind of pressure. Our children are under so much pressure today, and we're up here at the top fighting about all this, and they're growing up under it. And my heart goes out to all of them for having to grow up in such a day and age. And I just wish that more people would stop from time to time and consider the children in these situations, especially the party that loves to say they're all about the children. I really wish they would pump the brakes and think about these things before they start flexing on social media. Think about the children. If that's the stance you're going to take, and you're always going to be talking about protecting the children from drag queens who's never hurt a kid, then you need to quit showing off your hatred and bigotry and actually give a shit about children and the things that they witness in this world.